Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Brushes and Bunnies, and in this video we're going to be having a sketchbook session in which I will draw some really cute animals. In my quest to find my creative inspiration once again, I decided to draw some really cute animals. A long time ago, I used to draw animals all the time. That was way before I just did not know how to draw humans. And I thought it'd be fun to go back and try my hand at some animals that I've never drawn before. Some of the drawings that you're seeing now, I actually did them last night, and some of them are done for this video specifically. So I do wish I was recording the drawing session that I was doing last night. I was just watching YouTube and sketching along, and then realized I was having a lot of fun drawing these birds or these greyhounds. And I just didn't think about recording it for some reason, but I wanted to kind of do the same again for today's video. The topic for this sketchbook session is going to be all about why you absolutely need to draw something new every once in a while. But before we get to that topic, I just want to quickly run through all of the materials that I'm using for this video. I am using a couple different materials for these drawings. First and foremost, I am drawing in my Moleskine sketchbook. It is just one of these sketchbook versions. The paper is not so thick, but it does hold up well when I'm using a little bit of gouache or watercolor. I do have to be careful though, because the paper will buckle if I use a little bit too much water. For example, if I do a full-fledged background with gouache or watercolor, then I will have a bit of troubles. But it's pretty good actually, and the color, unless I'm using marker, will not bleed to the other side, so I can make use of every page. I know that Moleskine does have watercolor sketchbooks. I have not found them in any of the stores that basically sell art supplies here in Berlin. I probably just have to order it online somewhere, but this is the plan. Once I finish this sketchbook, I will do a sketchbook tour video, and then I will definitely buy a new one with watercolor in mind. For these drawings, I did do something a little bit new that I don't typically do before, and that is to outline with a colored pencil. I did use my Caran Luminance pencils, which I love so much, by the way, but typically I use these for when I'm doing mixed media and I just want to fill in or blend maybe the skin tone a little bit better or make it look a little bit more realistic. I will use these Luminance pencils with my watercolor and my gouache. In this case, I decided to just, casually outline some of the drawings that I was doing. It's a lot more apparent in one of my dog drawings that was shown earlier in this video. I did primarily just use the Luminance pencils, and in this case for the bird, I decided to combine both Luminance and watercolor / gouache together, and I think it makes for an interesting illustration. Apart from that, the additional materials that I typically use are my Faber Castell 9000 graphite pencils. These I use all the time. For drawings specifically, I typically use the 2H, the 2B, and the 8B. I don't know why, I just use those three types. For some reason, I just kind of developed a style with them. And yeah, on occasion I will use 5B as well. And for the watercolor, I am using my St. Petersburg White Nights watercolor paints, and I'm using a combination of the Schmincke designer gouache as well. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I had a really great time last night drawing these little drawings that you saw at the beginning of the video, with the birds and the dogs, and it was just a lot of fun, and I actually haven't had that amount of fun in drawing in a very long time. I know I talk about this in a lot of my latest videos, but it's honestly one of those themes or topics that I'm really struggling with and still trying to cope with and still trying to get back from. And I think what is important to talk about is to at least acknowledge that drawing new things or drawing things that you've never drawn before or never wanted to attempt to draw before just because you thought you could do it, I think these are good things to do and to acknowledge and to at least try a little bit, because you never know, and in doing so sometimes your inspiration could come back, or you find yourself drawing things that you just didn't expect that you could, and all of a sudden a world of new opportunities opens up to you. So in my quest to find my creative inspiration once more, not only did I realize that taking a break is super important for your well-being, but also challenging yourself with new subjects or drawing new subjects is also equally as important, just because it for me anyways, not only keeps my interest once more, but it provides me with a new challenge in which I want to get it done, because it's something new and it's something that's actually kind of fun to do, because it's not the same old subject that I'm always drawing over and over again. So that's one way to kind of find that creative inspiration once more, just to, you know, draw new things or draw things that you think will be really hard. Most likely they will be hard, but it's going to be a lot of fun to try to get it right. One piece of advice that I would give to you, especially if you're in the same situation as I am, is to buy yourself a new sketchbook, and especially one that could handle mixed media, because you can then use watercolor, you can use gouache, you can use acrylic, you can use ink, and even marker, and basically have a sketchbook where you call it your own in terms of creative expression. So by experimenting in the sketchbook, you basically hold no boundaries, there's no limits, there's absolute freedom in terms of what you want to do in there, and there's also no judgment. So just knowing that whatever happens in the sketchbook is basically the building blocks for your growth as an artist. And that's something that has really helped me, just to think of my sketchbooks in that way, that not everything that I do is a final work of art, or a final piece of art, I should say. And it's more so something that is basically teaching me skills, and also kind of an essential thing to do in order to get to that goal that I had, or the goal that I once had. I personally find drawing new animals a really fun challenge, and I also think that it's a really great subject to start with, especially if you're looking to try new things. There are, of course, so many different species out there in the world, and each of them have different shapes, different expressions, different textures, colors, and all of these factors really does help build and grow your skill as an artist in terms of sketching, helping you to sketch a lot more freely, learning how to shade properly, learning how to draw textures, for example, like fur. There's all kinds of things that you can really benefit from drawing animals in general. To basically summarize my thoughts on this topic, I would say not only is drawing something new essential if you're in an art block or if you're just not motivated to draw, but I also think in general, if you do have that motivation and you do have the inspiration, I think that not only should you draw the things you love to draw, but also challenge yourself every once in a while. Perhaps draw something new every week, or maybe every other day, even if it's just a little doodle, or if it's a large painting or what have you. I think it's important just to kind of stray away from the regular things that you're used to drawing and draw something completely out of your comfort zone. I think this is something that I did not do so often. I did do it a little bit in my live streams, but I was pretty comfortable with drawing faces, for example. So going back to drawing animals was something that I was really not comfortable with doing it live in front of people, just because I knew that it wasn't a skill that I had developed so far, or that I had continued to develop, I should say. So I think this is something that I kind of missed the mark with, and going forward with drawing in general, I will for sure try to acknowledge this factor and try to challenge myself every once in a while. Because challenging yourself is not only something that will help you grow, but it's also something that will keep you interested in the topic itself. That's basically all I want to say for this video. I hope you did enjoy it. Please give it a big thumbs up. I am very grateful for your support as always. I want to wish you guys a lovely weekend, and we will see each other next weekend. Keep drawing, keep staying awesome, and yeah, bye!